Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Regard highly. Think much of. Music, the relative duration of a musical note. Hold dear. Estimate the value of. The amount of money or goods or services that is considered to be a fair equivalent for something else. He tried to estimate the value of the produce at normal prices. Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. An ideal accepted by some individual or group. He has old-fashioned values. A numerical quantity measured or assigned or computed. The value assigned was 16 milliseconds. Fix or determine the value of. Assign a value to. Value the jewelry and artwork in the estate. Relative darkness or lightness of a color. I establish the colors and principal values by organizing the painting into 3 values: dark, medium and light. The quality, positive or negative, that renders something desirable or valuable. The Shakespearean Shylock is of dubious value in the modern world. The condition of being honored, esteemed or respected or well regarded. It is held in esteem. An attitude of admiration or esteem. Look on as or consider. Regard highly. Think much of. A feeling of delighted approval and liking. To move or force, especially in an effort to get something open. Regard highly. Think much of. Make an uninvited or presumptuous inquiry. Goods or money obtained illegally. To move or force, especially in an effort to get something open. Regard highly. Think much of. We prize his creativity. Something given for victory or superiority in a contest or competition or for winning a lottery. The prize was a free trip to Europe. Something given as a token of victory. Hold dear. I prize these old photographs. Of superior grade. Prize carnations. Usually preceded by, in, a detail or point. It differs in that respect. The condition of being honored, esteemed or respected or well regarded. An attitude of admiration or esteem. She lost all respect for him. A feeling of friendship and esteem. He inspires respect. Regard highly. Think much of. I respect his judgment. Show respect towards. Behavior intended to please your parents. He went to law school out of respect for his father's wishes. Courteous regard for people's feelings. Out of respect for his privacy. A courteous expression, by word or deed, of esteem or regard. Be sure to give my respects to the dean. Music, the relative duration of a musical note. Music, the relative duration of a musical note. Be fully aware of. Realize fully. Do you appreciate the full meaning of this letter? Hold dear. Increase the value of. The Germans want to appreciate the Deutsche Mark. Gain in value. The yen appreciated again. Recognize with gratitude. Be grateful for. accumulated wealth in the form of money or jewels, etc. The pirates hid their treasure on a small island in the West Indies. Be fond of. Be attached to. Hold dear. Art highly prized for its beauty or perfection. A collection of precious things. The trunk held all her meager treasures. Any possession that is highly valued by its owner. The children returned from the seashore with their shells and other treasures. Assign a rank or rating to. The restaurant is rated highly in the food guide. The relative speed of progress or change. He works at a great rate. Amount of a charge or payment relative to some basis. A 10-minute phone call at that rate would cost $5. Estimate the value of. How would you rate his chances to become president? A magnitude or frequency relative to a time unit. They traveled at a rate of 55 miles per hour. A quantity or amount or measure considered as a proportion of another quantity or amount or measure. The literacy rate. Be worthy of or have a certain rating. This bond rates highly. The amount, of money or goods or services, that is considered to be a fair equivalent for something else. Consider in a comprehensive way. He appraised the situation carefully before acting. Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. I will have the family jewels appraised by a professional. Set or determine the amount of a payment such as a fine. Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. Charge a person or a property with a payment, such as a tax or a fine. Estimate the value of property for taxation. Our house hasn't been assessed in years. Form a critical opinion of. How do you evaluate this grant proposal? Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. A statute in draft before it becomes law. How much there is or how many there are of something that you can quantify. A basis for comparison. A reference point against which other things can be evaluated. They set the measure for all subsequent work. Any maneuver made as part of progress toward a goal. The situation called for strong measures. Determine the measurements of something or somebody, take measurements of. The act or process of assigning numbers to phenomena according to a rule. The measurements were carefully done. Express as a number or measure or quantity. Prosody. The accent in a metrical foot of verse. Measuring instrument having a sequence of marks at regular intervals. Used as a reference in making measurements. Musical notation for a repeating pattern of musical beats. Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. A container of some standard capacity that is used to obtain fixed amounts of a substance. Have certain dimensions. This table surfaces measures 20 inches by 36 inches. Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. Have faith or confidence in. Judge to be probable. Take account of. You have to reckon with our opponents. Expect, believe, or suppose. Deem to be. Make a mathematical calculation or computation. The act of looking or seeing or observing. He tried to get a better view of it. See or watch. View a show on television. Graphic art consisting of the graphic or photographic representation of a visual percept. Figure 2 shows photographic and schematic views of the equipment. Look at carefully, study mentally. View a problem. A way of regarding situations or topics, etc. Consider what follows from the positivist view. The range of the eye. They were soon out of view. A personal belief or judgment that is not founded on proof or certainty. The visual percept of a region. The most desirable feature of the park are the beautiful views. A message expressing a belief about something. The expression of a belief that is held with confidence but not substantiated by positive knowledge or proof. Deem to be. She views this quite differently from me. The range of interest or activity that can be anticipated. Outward appearance. They look the same in outward view. Purpose. The phrase, with a view to, means, with the intention of, or, for the purpose of. He took the computer with a view to pawning it. Show consideration for, take into account. You must consider her age. Give careful consideration to. Consider the possibility of moving. Judge or regard. Look upon, judge. Look at carefully, study mentally. Think about carefully, weigh. They considered the possibility of a strike. Look at attentively. Take into consideration for exemplifying purposes. Deem to be. I consider her to be shallow. Regard or treat with consideration, respect, and esteem. Please consider your family. Take charge of or deal with. Could you see about lunch? Make sense of. Assign a meaning to. What message do you see in this letter? Go to see a place, as for entertainment. We went to see the Eiffel Tower in the morning. See or watch. This program will be seen all over the world. Get to know or become aware of, usually accidentally. I see that you have been promoted. Date regularly. Have a steady relationship with. Did you know that she is seeing an older man? Find out, learn, or determine with certainty, usually by making an inquiry or other effort. I want to see whether she speaks French. Perceive or be contemporaneous with. You'll see a lot of cheating in this school. Undergo or live through a difficult experience. Be careful or certain to do something. Make certain of something. Come together. I'll probably see you at the meeting. Accompany or escort. I'll see you to the door. Perceive, an idea or situation, mentally. Now I see. Imagine. Conceive of. See in one's mind. I can't see him on horseback. Observe, check out, and look over carefully or inspect. I must see your passport before you can enter the country. Deem to be. I don't see the situation quite as negatively as you do. Deliberate or decide. Let's see, which movie should we see tonight? Go to see for a social visit. I went to see my friend Mary the other day. Go to see for professional or business reasons. You should see a lawyer. Match or meet. Observe as if with an eye. Perceive by sight or have the power to perceive by sight. You have to be a good observer to see all the details. Receive as a specified guest. The doctor will see you now. See and understand, have a good eye. The artist must first learn to see. The seat within a bishop's diocese where his cathedral is located. Usually preceded by, in, a detail or point. The condition of being honored, esteemed or respected or well regarded. A man who has earned high regard. An attitude of admiration or esteem. A feeling of friendship and esteem. She mistook his manly regard for love. Paying particular notice, as to children or helpless people. Usually plural, a polite expression of desire for someone's welfare. Give him my kind regards. Look at attentively. Connect closely and often incriminatingly. A long fixed look. Deem to be. The property of enduring or continuing in time. Continuance in time. The ceremony was of short duration. The period of time during which something continues. The property of enduring or continuing in time. The period of time during which something continues. The act of continuing an activity without interruption. How much there is or how many there are of something that you can quantify. An adequate or large amount. He had a quantity of ammunition. The concept that something has a magnitude and can be represented in mathematical expressions by a constant or a variable. How much there is or how many there are of something that you can quantify. Add up in number or quantity. The bills amounted to $2,000. A quantity of money. The amount he had in cash was insufficient. A quantity obtained by the addition of a group of numbers. Develop into. This idea will never amount to anything. Be tantamount or equivalent to. Her action amounted to a rebellion. The relative magnitude of something with reference to a criterion. An adequate amount of food for 4 people. Form a critical opinion of. We shouldn't pass judgment on other people. Judge tentatively or form an estimate of quantities or time. Pronounce judgment on. Form a critical opinion of. I cannot judge some works of modern art. An authority who is able to estimate worth or quality. Put on trial or hear a case and sit as the judge at the trial of. The judge tried both father and son in separate trials. A public official authorized to decide questions brought before a court of justice. Determine the result of a competition. Of or relating to the philosophical doctrine of the reality of ideas. Model of excellence or perfection of a kind, one having no equal. Conforming to an ultimate standard of perfection or excellence, embodying an ideal. constituting or existing only in the form of an idea or mental image or conception. A poem or essay may be typical of its period and idea or ideal content. The idea of something that is perfect, something that one hopes to attain. A quantity expressed as a number. An unofficial association of people or groups. The smart set goes there. Get ready for a particular purpose or event. Set up an experiment. Several exercises intended to be done in series. He did 4 sets of the incline bench press. Representation consisting of the scenery and other properties used to identify the location of a dramatic production. The sets were meticulously authentic. A relatively permanent inclination to react in a particular way. The set of his mind was obvious. Disappear beyond the horizon. The sun sets early these days. Decide upon or fix definitely. Put or set, seeds, seedlings, or plants, into the ground. Establish as the highest level or best performance. Set a record. Urge to attack someone. Set down according to a plan. A carefully laid table with places set for 4 people. Usually followed by to or for, on the point of or strongly disposed. We are set to go at any time. Converted to solid form, as concrete. Make ready or suitable or equip in advance for a particular purpose or for some use, event, etc. Determined or decided upon as by an authority. The time set for the launching. Equip with sails or masts. Insert a nail or screw below the surface, as into a countersink. Locate. The film is set in Africa. Fixed and unmoving. With eyes set in a fixed glassy stare. Put into a certain place or abstract location. Adapt for performance in a different way. Set this poem to music. Psychology, being temporarily ready to respond in a particular way. The subject set led them to solve problems the familiar way and to overlook the simpler solution. Become gelatinous. Situated in a particular spot or position. A house set on a hilltop. Fix conclusively or authoritatively. Set the rules. Evil Egyptian god with the head of a beast that has high square ears and a long snout, brother and murderer of Osiris. Arrange attractively. Alter or regulate so as to achieve accuracy or conform to a standard. Estimate. The process of becoming hard or solid by cooling or drying or crystallization. He tested the set of the glue. Bear fruit. Set in type. My book will be typeset nicely. A group of things of the same kind that belong together and are so used. A set of books. Any electronic equipment that receives or transmits radio or TV signals. The early sets ran on storage batteries. Apply or start. Set fire to a building. A unit of play in tennis or squash. They played 2 sets of tennis after dinner. Being below the horizon. The moon is set. Fix in a border. The goldsmith set the diamond. Give a fine, sharp edge to a knife or razor. Mathematics, an abstract collection of numbers or symbols. The set of prime numbers is infinite. Put into a certain state. Cause to be in a certain state. Set the house afire. Put into a position that will restore a normal state. Set a broken bone. Set to a certain position or cause to operate correctly. Set clocks or instruments. The act of putting something in position. He gave a final set to his hat. The descent of a heavenly body below the horizon. Before the set of sun. Decide upon or fix definitely. Reach, make, or come to a decision about something. Find out, learn, or determine with certainty, usually by making an inquiry or other effort. Establish after a calculation, investigation, experiment, survey, or study. Shape or influence. Give direction to. Experience often determines ability. Fix conclusively or authoritatively. Settle conclusively. Come to terms. Fix in scope. Fix the boundaries of. The tree determines the border of the property.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.